Hey everyone, good morning. Happy Thursday, and welcome to AskSpot Office Hours live help sessions. This is where you can ask your quick questions regarding AskSpot and get live help. And in this calls, we also tend to do live builds to show you how different AskSpot tools can work in real use cases. And for today's topic, I call it the instant repair code. This is basically an IntelliForm. We're going to be building an IntelliForm that helps get an instant repair estimate, especially for, home services business. So I will show you guys just how easy it is to build out of Aspot. So it can help set pricing expectation. It can help reduce no-shows, and it can also, of course, help save time for the business owner before getting on a call. So basically, this already pre-qualifies the lead. So let's go to my Aspot account and start building that out. And by the way, while we are doing this build, feel free to ask your questions in the comments if you're confused with a step, or if there's been anything that you've been building that you may want to ask about. So feel free to type that in the chat. Type chat. And then you can also unmute your mic if you want. So let's just click create here. Now let's click inside our IntelliForm and start creating it. Let me just get my Zoom control out of the way to do that. Okay, give me 1 second. There you go. All right. So first thing that we will add, so I do like to create the cover letter first. After that, we will create the input page, and then we will craft the perfect prompt for this specific use case. So for this one, title, let's just say get your instant repair estimate in less than let's just say 2 minutes. There you go. And then save that. And also, I will be adding an image for this. So I just edited one from Canva that is super relevant to this IntelliForm right here. So we're building this for a fictitious business called Rapid Fix Home Services. And I just based my Canva design off of that business. And then let me just change the maximum height right here. The resolution I use for this is 16 by 9. So I think it's the same size as presentations. So let me just save changes for that. And there you go. Looks better, right? It looks super good inside an IntelliForm. And then next thing that we will add is just a bit of a description on what this IntelliForm is all about. So I'll use this right here. And I think we're good with this. It's something fixed, but not sure what it costs. Complete this short form, and our AI-powered estimator will provide a ballpark price range based on your project details. Okay, great. Now let's take a look at how it looks like. So far, this is our cover letter. Let me just change this button right here. Just change this to start repair estimate. And then let's make that full width. Save changes. And there you go. So that's the start of our IntelliForm. Next, let's craft out our input page. So this will be basically we are collecting the job details for this IntelliForm. So first, we'll be using what is called the input block, where a user can just type in their response or their answer to like a question. So basically just putting their own input. So this one's going to be service type. And then what type of job do you need help with? And then for our placeholder, let's just add this, enter the option that best describes your project. And then another one, which is helper text, will be our option. So they can just select from these options, or they can just type in their own. So that's why we're going to make this a text area. There we go. And so that's how it looks like. Next thing that we will add is we will be asking them to describe the job in more details. I think input block is also the best one to use for that. So click inside the field to edit it. And then make sure to put the unique ID. We will reference that in the prompt later. And then for our label, please describe the job in more detail. And then our placeholder will be like for an example, the kitchen faucet drips constantly and leaks constantly. And then our helper text will be this. So they need to include the size, the location, the materials involved, or anything that's like relevant or important to this job details. And next, we will be using this one, which is the select block. So this will be like a drop down of choices that the user can select from. So this one will be about urgency level. And then we will just ask how urgent is this job. And then the placeholder will be select urgency. And then our helper text will be this will help us determine the scheduling priority and pricing range, and then we'll just provide them with a few options um, regarding that. So you have your 24 hours, you have your within 3 days, you have within a week, because this will matter later on when we craft the prompt. When we create the prompt for this AI, it will also like base its estimation based on this one, the urgency of the job. Next one, we will be asking for the job location. So I think we'll be just using the input block for that. Click inside for properties. So change the unique ID, job location, and then where is the job located? The job located, and then enter property address. And then this one is for the helper text used to estimate travel time and service availability. So that will also matter later on in our AI prompt. Now, let me just make sure that's saved. Okay, so far we have these questions right here. Now, for our last question regarding the job details, we'll use another input block for that. So let me just put that right here, click for properties, and then the unique ID will be about property type, and then what type of property is this? And then let's just say enter property type. And then helper text will be kind of like a few options on the property type. So you have your single family home, apartment, condo, rental property, and that's it. Awesome. So let me just rename this actually. So say welcome. And then this one's going to be job details, save changes. Okay, great. So now that we have this page completed, sorry, let me just put a kind of like a separator in between each question. Let's just put that right there. Separator and also there. There you go. So I think that looks better. Let's make sure that page is saved. And then we will be adding another input page. So this one is for collecting their contact info. So we will be using, oh sorry, let me just remove this from here first. Delete that. Delete that. Okay, there you go. And then I will be using an input block for this. So basically we will just be asking for their full name. So put full name right there. Name. I think that's good. And then who should we contact about this estimate? Make sure that's required. And then also we will be collecting their email address. Very important to have that. Let's just put email underscore address, and then this one's email address. And also let's make that a required field. Lastly, we will be asking for their phone number. So just change this to phone number. And I think this looks good. Please enter a valid phone number. Make sure that's saved. Okay. So that's the contact info page. So let's make sure to rename that contact info. Save changes. Okay. So basically those are our input pages. Now what we will do, let me just change this submit button properties. Just say, let's just say submit, prepare, estimate form. Think that's okay. That looks good. Um, and so far, I think we have everything we need already. Um, Let me now go to our prompt builder. So this is where it gets exciting. This is where your form will go from a normal form to a smart AI form, AI powered form. So let's make sure to get our prompting correct. So we have these fields or this unique IDs right here from those inputs that we created earlier. So we will just be using this exact prompt. Let me show you guys the prompt I will be using. So first, you are an AI estimator for Rapid Fix Home Services, a professional handyman company serving the greater Austin, Texas area. So it helps the AI to have a little bit of like information about the business, especially since we won't be putting any, what do you call this? We won't be putting any sources for this AI since we only need the prompt for that. So use the following form inputs, and then we will just describe basically what this means. So, and also we are like describing the form inputs from the user. And next we will ask it to determine the, oh, wait 1 second. Ah, 1 second. My mouse is hanging. It's not moving. Just give me 1 second, you guys. It's not moving at all. Okay, let me just put, okay, there you go. So step one is determine the base price range. So we're asking it to determine the base price range. We will be providing it with a few price ranges for like each services, and then it will estimate based on that. So use this estimated base ranges, and then this will be the basically the pricing itself. And then if the job description suggests complexity, it will also like lean towards the higher price range. And then there's also another if, that if the job description suggests a small, simple issue, you can just, lean over the lower end of the pricing. Let me just add another one. So this one is the step two for the AI. So basically it will adjust the pricing for urgency. So I think we like kind of like base this on the urgency level. If it's within 24 hours, you have to add 15 to 25%. And then within 2 to 3 days, 10%. Within 1 week, no change. And then if it's a flexible scheduling, so mention possible scheduling flexibility. So basically it covers all of the like the urgency for the job, all of the aspects for the urgency for the job. And then step three for the AI to do. So step two is this, and then step three will be generate the response. Okay, generate the response. And then we will kind of like explain how it should structure its response to the user as how we like it. So you have your friendly greeting using the full name, or if you want, you can also ask for their first name first. So you can just have the AI reference their first name. And then say thank you for submitting your prayer request form through our rapid fix instant code form. Then a brief summary, the ballpark price range, a short explanation, and then also a clear, explicit disclaimer stating that this is not a final code. So this is very important to have, especially when it comes to this, what do they call this, pricing or estimate IntelliForm. Make sure to add your like disclaimer. And then we also advise the AI to clear next step to schedule confirmation. And then I think the very last part of this, I added another one that's for mandatory disclaimer requirement. Because I noticed earlier when I was testing this that the AI was kind of sounding like this was the final code. And for me, that's dangerous to have, of course. So we also provided this with this mandatory disclaimer requirement, especially for special cases like this. It's super important to have this. Let's just save this prompt now. Okay. And then I think with this, we can start testing. So since we already have our form right there, we just make sure we have everything saved. We have this active. And then let's do sorry, let me just change the theme for this IntelliForm. I think I created a custom theme for this IntelliForm earlier. There you go. Looks better. Now let's go to preview. Okay, so this is how it looks like right now. This was the image that we added earlier, and as you can see, it's basically the same theme with the button right here. So now it will redirect us to the input page. So what type of job do you need help with? So let's just say leaking faucet or plumbing repair, and then please describe the job in more detail. So this will be the job description itself. And then how urgency is this? Let's just say within a week. And then the job location. And then this one, let's just say a single family home. Next. Okay. So for full name, let's just provide a fictitious client persona and then an email address. And then the phone number. So now if I click on submit repair estimate form, so it's preparing the results for us. And there you go. All right. Wow, that was quick. So as you can see, hello, Sarah Martinez. So it was able to get the inputs or the unique IDs. So thank you for submitting your repair request through our rapid fix instant code form. And then you've requested a service for leaking faucet. Okay, so now we know that it was able to recognize the inputs from the user since it was able to reference those. So, and then you have your estimated price range. So just please note that factors such as exact conditions of your plumbing and any unforeseen issues discovered during service may affect the final pricing. So it's great to have that. And then over here to proceed, please contact us to schedule a confirmation. We are proud to serve the greater Austin area. So for this, if you want like a contact us button, you can just simply change this button right here from start over to contact us. So that's our instant prepare estimate in IntelliForm. So it's nothing super fancy. We just added, a few fields. We added input fields, and then we added a smart prompt. Robin says, what happens if they put in a repair that isn't listed in the prompt? That's a great question. Let's try that right now. Let's see how that will work. So let's start over. Start repair estimate, and let me just take a look at kind of like what was listed in here on our prompt. So I think we have minor electrical repair, furniture assembly, other home. Okay, so I think this is how it will. I think this is how it will address that. I think so. We already put here other home repair. And then it will like adjust its pricing from 150 to 600, depending on the complexity of that home repair. So that's why it's super important to add that disclaimer because, of course, for any other services that's not listed in a prompt, it might not get the exact pricing that we want it to. So, yep, I think that's how it will, what they call this, it will reference that. And one thing, guys, also one thing that let me just add over here in the IntelliForm, you can add additional feature like maybe, set up the webhook and then have the business immediately get notified whenever someone completes this form, and then notify them via Slack or via email or even via WhatsApp, and then you tell them to, hey, someone just completed this form, you might want to give them a call. Here's the price estimate that the AI provided, so that they have kind of like an idea they already have this like pre-qualified lead that's, in their preferred form of communication. So that's one thing that you can do. That's why I suggest adding like I suggest setting up automation for this after, it's been after the form has been completed, so that there's kind of like more value into this that you can also provide into the video. So aside from it being a smart form, so it also has like its own system set up, as in one of the automation platforms out there. So I highly recommend utilizing the webhook feature, you guys. I highly recommend that. So yeah, any other questions? Any questions at all regarding what we built today? Or with anything that you've been building with inside AskSpot? Chandrakant says the prompt is limited to 5,000 characters. If we are allowed to extend this limit, we can provide more detailed instructions, rules, edge cases, and context, which will significantly improve accuracy and output quality. Yeah, the prompt inside the IntelliForm is limited to 5,000 characters. However, you can add multiple prompts. So you can only do this with the IntelliForms. You cannot do this with the other tools inside AskSpot. So you can add up to 5 prompts. Each has their own 5,000 character limit. So what you said, you can provide more detailed instructions. So you can have prompt 1 to be instructions, prompt 2 to be the rules, and then prompt 3 to be the edge cases, and then prompt 4 for the context, and then maybe prompt 5 for the final output or how you want it to present to the user. So I think using the prompt chaining aspect of the IntelliForm will help you with this, Chandrakant. So try doing that and let me know if you encounter some roadblocks or anything like that. Any other questions or maybe any anything from the community about this? Okay, let me just put that. Don says, another great build out, Kim. Can we get a share link, please? Yep, certainly. Let me just put that right here on the chat. You have unsaved changes. What's my unsaved changes? Let's make sure that's saved. And then go over here, click share, and then copy, duplicate page link. There you go. And then let me just put that on the chat. IntelliForm. Duplicate. There you go. So I just put that in the chat, you guys. And if there's if you don't have right here at this moment, if you don't have any questions at all, you can always reach out to me to support at askspot.ai if you need help with anything at all regarding AskSpot. We also do these live builds every Tuesdays and Thursdays, so you can join me anytime. And thank you all so much for joining for this Thursday's live help session. Have a great day. Bye bye.